It's time for book chat on Wake Up Nigeria this morning. We have Uwen Odiong, aka Life Jacobs, a professional media content magician and TV producer with over 10 years of experience in writing, editing, and TV production. He's here today to discuss his work of poetry, Random Crazy Thoughts. And my goodness, I feel like I'm trying to get some fresh air going through this book because they are wild thoughts, like literally that song. This is interesting, Random Crazy Thoughts. It's so good to have you in the studio with us today.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
I'm going to start from Life Jacobs. Your name is Uwen Odiong. How did you come about Life Jacobs?
I'm Pakwebom, and it's just a direct translation of Uwen. Uwen means life in English, literally like Uwen life. So I just transcribed Uwen to life, and Jacob's like my dad's first name, so I just picked it up and I.
Do you know why you were named Uwen? Did you ever ask?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the book. I was born a twin, but my twin.
Right, that's true. I saw that part.
And,
your twin sister.
Yeah.
She died at birth?
Yeah.
Wow. And I see that you also sometimes wonder what life would have been like if she had survived.
Yeah.
Does it still bother you so much?
Not as much, but you know, there's this
younger.
voice in your head that feels like there's someone else who's trying to direct or guide you or talk to you in some form, and maybe make you see reasons to why things should be done and
In
how they
certain
shouldn't be done in certain ways. So that's nagging voice at the back of your head just keeps.
Let's talk about each chapter. I find each one fascinating. That's the word I'm going to use.
Thank
you. It's something that sometimes goes dark, and then sometimes there's a breath of fresh air, and then it goes dark again. And I'm struggling to find where your mind was at that time. Makes me wonder. I can almost bet you wrote this during the pandemic.
Yes, most of it were written during the pandemic and before the pandemic. So I would normally just have random thoughts in my head, and you know, this thing people do on WhatsApp stories and just put them out and just write like a few lines and just put them on it. Some on Instagram, and I'll write like a note or my notepad. I'll just screenshot it and just post it on my WhatsApp, and people will be like, what is this that you're thinking about? How did you come up with these thoughts? And in my head, it was just fun. It was just for the fun of it, basically. Then sometime last year, I met someone, she's behind this anyway, and she said, you think people should actually see this and read it as a collection of something of sorts? And I thought to myself, yeah, there's a simpler medium to actually make people see it and express it, and that was poetry. Because this, like in the introduction of the book, I wrote, this is not grammar poetry, this is not roses are red. It's sometimes it's not even poem as it is, it's just narration that just takes the form of poetry. So that's how Random Crazy Thoughts were born. And during the pandemic, we had nothing to do, we were bored in the house, and our heads were running wild. And I think I contracted COVID then. So one of these test drugs that they were giving at the time would make me hallucinate a lot. Yeah. I would hallucinate and think about,
Crazy.
Like my imaginations were limitless. I felt like I was in a matrix of sorts, and it just kept going and going, and half of it were born.
Wow, but you were still quarantined at that time.
Yeah, I was in the house alone.
Yeah, so we don't act out what we are thinking. So let's start from, my name is Life Jacobs. So the one that actually, before we even go into all of it, the ones that really caught my eye was the one you were describing yourself. I'm trying to find the chapter.
Dead truth about me.
The truth. Dead truth. Yes, I can't say the word.
Yeah.
Now, dead truth was one that captivated me. Tell me more about that.
So I think throughout my journey, one of the things I've been able to note about myself is certain things that I do in relation to people I come in contact with, how I interact with them, how they interact with me. I always see myself to not think how people expect me to think. Like I hate to be boxed into a particular mindset that people would normally want. And every time I see myself thinking outside the box, I tend to write about it and say, this is what's expected of me. And you ever been in a room where you feel like you know exactly what to say, you have the right words in your head, but somehow they just refuse to come out of your mouth, and you're just there looking at, and you feel like not necessarily dumb. You just feel like, why you guys not seeing the bigger picture like I am seeing it in my head? But say it out loud, you wouldn't, and then you leave there like, I should have just said this. So those are the things that formed me writing about myself and letting people see it. Also, whoever comes in contact with it to see, okay, you're not alone in this entire struggle. We are plenty. Your
description of love is very interesting. Just like love, like a Lagos traffic.
Yeah.
Did you ever experience such love? Besides your bread and beans love, that's Pudi, who had to return to Ghana.
So, love like Lagos traffic is the Gen Z idea of what love is right now, and it's the promise of it's just me and you, but at the end of the day you see people also having sides too. So I'm describing it to you enter a downfold. The downfold was created to have just one seat in front, but by some weird design, when it gets to Nigeria, there's an extra seat somewhere, and that is where it's supposed to be. And because someone is sitting at the edge and have like a seat belt, makes you feel like you are safe in this relationship, but still I'm carrying someone else. So that's how I'm trying to describe how people have made love, which is supposed to be monogamous, to be, have multiple people have that bus ride with you, and then there's someone who's also trying to cut you off on the road, trying to wink at your your love interest. So I was just basically trying to use a double entendre to describe what love can actually be, and at the end I still think monogamy is the cause of love.
Has your dad read this book?
Not yet.
He gets why. Tell me about your relationship with your dad.
Oh, we have a very amazing relationship
now.
So that's one we can't mention the title because because it's daytime TV. It was written not just from my own POV. I think I was trying to picture my siblings' POV in relation to how we saw our dad at the time. My sisters had, I think, had the best relationship with my dad because I felt like they had it easy for them. He was very lenient towards them. It was good to them. And we had tough love, so to say.
How many siblings?
We are 5 of us. We have 3 boys and 2 girls. I'm the middle child.
You're the middle child.
Yeah. So it felt like we had the tough love, and as the boys, we were told to be strong, be sharp and everything. But the older you grow, like someone once wrote, I can't remember who exactly, said, when you grow older, you start understanding your father better, and then by then you probably have a son who doesn't understand you. Good thing I don't have a son yet, but then now I understand better, and it makes me come to a conclusion, maybe we are just not all wired to be husbands and fathers at the end of the day. And
is that your conclusion for yourself?
Yeah, that's my conclusion.
So you do not intend to be a husband or a father?
Right now, I'm not thinking about it actively. Maybe tomorrow my opinion will change, but right now.
What do you think your father's reaction would be when he sees that part? You have to adjust your glasses. You're thinking of your life as it flashed before your face.
No. I think we've come to a place where we are able to talk about everything. I think I'm still going to, have like a sit down with him, show him the book, and he's going to get to read it eventually, and we'll talk about it. I think he's very open-minded now. He's older. We are older too, so we can have older adult conversation as to when we were younger and you were told to do or behave some certain ways. Now we can sit down, even on a regular day, we sit down over drinks and just have conversation and say, oh, this is how life has been, this is how it's going, this is how it should be. And he gives that fatherly advice. And now I understand him better as to why what happened was. But still, I still have to write my truth about what happened and how it was at the time.
You have a close relationship with your mom. Has it remained the same?
Oh, yeah, it's still the same.
So there are people who believe that mothers spoil their sons. Do you agree with that? And was that really the case with you? Because there's a part where you spoke about the fact that it seemed your mom was really truly the only person who understood you. Afang soup and jollof rice aside, and your love for it. But yeah,
I think personally, this is what I think. This might just be me goofing around, but I think I was a special child growing up, and I required special attention. I didn't play as much as a child. Like I don't have an experience of me playing with other kids as a child. So I was locked indoor. First, I have very large ears as a child. I was very tiny. So
Yeah,
it made me look.
He described his ears as satellite dish.
Yeah, it made me look.
And when I saw him, the first thing I said was, okay, that's the satellite.
Yeah. So it made me feel very awkward and unsafe with people. I was bullied a lot. So my mom understood that, and she sort of gave me special attention. I was a little dyslexic when I was growing up, even though I was very smart, but I needed to take time to understand things my own way. So she understood it. I don't know, maybe some motherly instinct or by design as a woman, she understood it, and she would pay that attention that I needed to me. And she would tell, I remember my report card back then in school were always brilliant child but never participate in anything. And that's what it was. I would sit in class, just observe, and when exam comes, and I'm like the best student in class, and they always wonder, how is it you ask questions in class, you don't know it, but when exams comes, you are always coming out in flying colors. But she understood it, and she would always tell them, don't worry, it's fine, he's going to be all right. Now look at me, I'm talking on TV, I'm very outspoken. I never thought I would get to that point, but she understood, and she said, one day you get out of your shell and you understand why you needed to be kept in such a way to get to that point. And now I understand it better. Yeah.
Now, this book is about life from your own perspective.
Yes.
Looking back at your life, would you say you wish you had done certain things differently?
A lot of
Such
things. Like there are some letters in the book, open letters. There are some people I was unavailable to because of what I thought, how I thought life should be from my POV, and that has probably made me missed out on certain amazing relationship as it would have been at the time. I would have maybe opened up a little bit more to people. I've been in rooms with some top executive, and because I didn't say anything about anything that was going on in my head about what I knew at the time, I probably was looked over for some persons who, just because they can do wah in the room, they felt like, oh, maybe this person has an idea in their head. I was more about, if you see me do what I can do, then you understand that I am good at what I can do. And half of the time, I'm
beginning to feel weird because it feels like you're talking about me, but go on.
And half of the time, it's usually how loud you can get in the room and how well you can say whatever you can say.
Even when you don't really have
stuff to say. And that has always been the case. So looking back, I think maybe I should have opened my mouth a little bit more and spoken up a little bit more. And then when people hear that and then finally get to meet you and see what you can do, then it's like a corresponding match. And now that's one of the things that I look back to.
Do you think writing is something you will continue to do? Are you going to publish more books, or you feel you poured all your heart into this, it stops here?
There's an epilogue there, and I said, I don't know. Okay, these were the ones published, and there's still a whole lot more, but I don't know if I'm going to make a sequel to this. I was talking to someone, and I said you should write another one and title it "The Demons in My Head Got Loose Again." And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a very nice thing to do, but I don't know if I want to write another poem, but I have a lot of books that I know I'm going to put out there. There'll be mediums where people can just read things. Maybe this will probably become like a series. I do not know. This will probably be reenacted. That I'm very sure of, but it's still in the works. So that's what it is, but more things will be written. That's for certain.
That's cool to know. So, as it is, we have Random Crazy Thoughts. That's what the book is called. It's one that I find very interesting indeed. So many chapters, like, I wish we could go through more. I really wish we could. Coffee and cigarettes. And the things that, do you have a lighter? And brother, let's talk about brother Egunlofun. Tell us about that one.
So, Egunlofun is just basically an entendre for why do people police desires? People want people they want to be with to look some type of way, to feel. There's an aesthetics to how people think women should see men that they should be with. They think the man should look some type of way, should dress some type of way, should be some type of way. But it's not usually so. And there's this whole buzz about women liking bad boys. And that's what that was supposed to illustrate. So Boy Egunlofun is the agbero on the streets who sees a girl and verbally, sexually harasses her sexually, verbally, but she finds it kind of fascinating and she's somewhat interested in whatever he's selling. And that's the
story behind it.
story
Was it
behind
a story
it.
someone told you?
No, it wasn't a story. It's something I witnessed. Even if it's
Wow.
actually real character. He's an Agbero at a bus stop that's very close to where I used to stay at the time. So there's this thing I would do. I would just go sit at the bus stop and just watch people randomly do their thing. So, and I always hear, every time he sees anybody, he's fine, that kind of thing. And I'm like, and it was, so this girl was walking past and this guy says, he's fine, and he said what he said in that, and this girl, head tied, clutching on the Bible with a Bible, and then was walking past and then looked back. And in my eyes, I saw desire instead of annoyance or anything. And
wow.
And
like
that's fact.
That's
fact that
was a different person.
Yeah.
It would have been. This is a very crazy book. It's one that would have you questioning a lot of things.
Yeah.
He wasn't joking when he named it Random Crazy Thoughts, but it's a book that I recommend for 18 plus though.
Yes, it's very
18
rated.
plus, yeah, but it's a very, very interesting book. It's one that so many people will find relatable. I'm sure you will find it relatable as well. Well done, Life Jacobs.
Thank
well
you.
Done,
Thank you.
indeed. You like breakfast, don't you?
Oh, of course I do.
You do, huh?
Yes.
What's your favorite? Okay, no, besides bread and beans. Which was
I really
for
don't
lunch
like
then,
bread and
though?
beans like that.
Yeah, it was because of
It was just
Kudi.
because of Kudi.
You'll
yeah.
find that in the book. So what do you like for breakfast?
Breakfast usually maybe toast and coffee.
You just might be in luck. We're heading to the kitchen now for breakfast.
Wow.
All right,
Thank
so
you
let's
very
go.